Leadership often feels challenging, not because of what we face outside, but because of what happens inside us while we lead. Chapter 13 of the Bhagavad Gita takes us inward to the space between our roles and our identity, between our experiences and the one experiencing them. This chapter reminds us that clarity in leadership begins with self-knowledge. When leaders turn to observe instead of over-identify, pressure softens, decisions become wiser, and leadership becomes conscious. Welcome to the Inner Compass with Kishore. You are listening to Bhagavad Gita for Corporate Wisdom. In this episode, we explore what it means to lead not from role or reaction, but from awareness. Let us begin. Think of a situation. You walk into a room carrying expectations, targets to meet, opinions to defend, a role to perform. Before anyone speaks, something inside you tightens. Chapter 13 begins exactly here, not with action, but with identity. It reminds us that leadership pressure often comes not from responsibility itself, but from who we believe we are while carrying it. When leaders confuse their role with their identity, everything feels personal. Every challenge becomes a threat. Every mistake feels like a verdict. Krishna introduces a quieter question before all leadership questions. Who is the one experiencing all this? Because the moment leadership shifts from role-driven to awareness-led, something softens. You still care, you still act, but you are no longer consumed. This chapter invites leaders to begin not by doing more, but by knowing who they are being as they lead. Ask yourself, who are you being before you step into leadership each day? Someone questions your decision. Feedback feels sharp. Defensiveness rises before you even realize it. In moments like this, leadership becomes emotional before it becomes conscious. We react not because the situation is serious, but because identity feels threatened. Chapter 13 makes a subtle but powerful distinction. There is the experience, irritation, fear, pride, disappointment, and then there is the one noticing the experience. Most leadership stress comes from collapsing these two. When leaders say, I am angry, instead of I notice anger, awareness disappears and reaction takes over. Krishna is not asking leaders to suppress emotion. He is inviting them to step back just enough to see clearly. That small step back is the birthplace of maturity. Ask yourself, in difficult moments, do you become the emotion or you observe it? You are introduced by your title. Your worth is measured by outcomes. Your calendar defines your value. Krishna calls all of this the field. Roles, responsibility, emotions, results, successes, failure, necessary, important, but temporary. Krishna calls this the field, the kshetra. Then he introduces something radical. Kshetrajna, the knower of the field. The awareness that witnesses all of it. Leadership becomes heavy when leaders forget this distinction. When they believe this role is who I am, but clarity returns the moment a leader remembers, I operate in this field, but I am not the field. From this awareness, leaders act with commitment, but not desperation. Authority, but not arrogance. Care, but not fear. Ask yourself, which role or result have you unconsciously turned into identity? A project fails, self-doubt creeps in, or success arrives and the ego quietly expands. Over-identification swings leaders between anxiety and arrogance. One day you feel invincible, the next day inadequate. Chapter 13 restores balance by reminding us that experiences change. Awareness does not. Failure is an experience. Success is an experience. Neither defines who you are. Leaders who don't see this get trapped in emotional extremes. Leaders who do see this remain steady even when circumstances fluctuate. This steadiness is not emotional distance, it is emotional maturity. When leaders stop carrying outcomes as identity, clarity returns. Ask yourself, what outcome are you taking too personally right now? think of this real life situation. Two leaders have equal intelligence. One creates calm, the other creates tension. Krishna redefines knowledge not as information but as inner qualities. He speaks of humility, patience, simplicity, emotional steadiness, and self-reflection, not as soft traits but stabilizing ones. These qualities don't make leaders passive, they make leaders clear. A clear leader listens better, decides better, responds better. Organizations don't collapse due to lack of intelligence. They collapse due to lack of inner clarity. Leadership effectiveness begins on the inside. Ask yourself, which inner quality would most strengthen your leadership today? The power of the observer. An email triggers irritation. A comment provokes defensiveness. Your body wants to react immediately. Chapter 13 offers leaders a quiet superpower, the pause. Not a long retreat, not a silence forever, just a moment of observation. In that pause, leaders notice tone, emotion, impulse. And in noticing, they regain choice. This pause is invisible to others, but it changes conversations, cultures, and outcomes. Conscious leadership is not faster, it is wiser. Ask yourself, where could one conscious pause change your response? Seeing the same awareness in others. You feel superior to one person and intimidated by another. Hierarchy hardens when leaders forget shared awareness. Comparison grows, respect erodes. Chapter 13 dissolves this by reminding us the same awareness that observes you observes others. Different role, different capabilities, same inner witness. When leaders see this, power softens into stewardship. People feel respected, not managed. Leadership becomes human again. Reflect on this. Who do you unconsciously see as less or more than you? Freedom from comparison. We compare quietly achievements, recognition, progress. Someone else's success unsettles us. Comparison thrives where identity feels fragile. Self-knowledge dissolves it. When leaders know who they are beyond role and result, they no longer need to compete unnecessarily. This inner freedom creates outer confidence. Leaders with nothing to prove have everything to offer. Reflect on this. Where is comparison quietly influencing your leadership? Conscious leadership in action. A difficult conversation awaits. Pressure urges you to respond quickly. The conscious leader notices pressure. He does not become it. They allow awareness to lead response, not habit, not fear. This is not perfection, it is presence. Each conscious response builds trust. Each thoughtful pause strengthens leadership. Ask yourself, what response would awareness choose right now? At the end of the day, roles fall away. Silence remains. Chapter 13 leaves leaders with a grounding truth. You are not your role, not your results, not your reputation. You are the awareness in which leadership happens. From this place, leadership becomes calm, ethical, and steady. Fear loosens, ego softens, clarity deepens. This is the leadership that endures. Ask yourself, who are you when all roles fall away? As we close this reflection, I invite you to stay connected. If these conversations help you pause, reflect, and lead with more awareness, please subscribe to the channel, The Inner Compass with Kishore. New episode, explore timeless wisdom for modern leadership. And if you would like to go deeper, you may find companion reflections in my book, My Friend, Happy Journey, My Friend, Corporate Athletes, and The Stone and the Pond. Each one explores leadership, awareness, and inner steadiness from a different lens. Thank you for listening. Until next time, lead with awareness. Thank you.